Sponsored by Shenanigans Sports Pub.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Boy, all was peace and love yesterday as we celebrated our second anniversary at Casa Calabria. And today there's a lot of tension and friction in the air. I'm like,
why? What's the matter?
You're the only
I'm
guy
sniping at Lubie.
Yeah.
Lubie's sniping at me. You're saying you got some big news that you're going to give me after the show.
No, it's not necessarily news. It's just something to consider.
Okay. Oh, something to consider.
Yeah.
Like a different career path?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you should have considered long ago. I mean, this is the business we have chosen, so it's all fine.
All
and
right.
you're doing great, man.
No,
You're
I'm
killing
going to
it.
be
You're
a pro
killing it.
after
Yeah.
2 years. Have I improved at all? Or
I don't know. You're a little strange to work with, I have to say. I've worked with a lot of different people. And I'm not sure what your game is exactly, but, it's enjoyable enough. We have a nice time together.
is spreading the gospel about great food around
And that's
town.
very noble.
And also producing, for the restaurants, getting some more guests and customers
I
in.
think it works.
And for the lunchbox. And
Yes.
I'm very happy because it seems to be, we have people who are pleased. We are coming off our best revenue producing month yet. And
And the people are calling you, which is very unusual in the advertising game. Yes.
That's always a good sign. And again, the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group, which I haven't loaded up onto yet because I'm busy, distracted. But we're here. Where are we today, Defo? I'm a little bit fablunged.
One of our favorite places.
Yeah, you've
in
improved a
all
lot
of
as a
South
host.
Florida.
Where are we today? 2 years into the program.
I knew the answer. I just wanted to not do multitasking.
Okay, I'll handle that. Don't worry about it. You get very nervous if somebody else is speaking for a minute. We are at Wicked Cheesesteaks, one of our favorite places. Lubie loves it. I love it.
Yes.
You love it. People are always asking, and it gets back to the authentic Philadelphia thing. Where can I get an authentic cheesesteak? I don't know if it matters if it's authentic, if it's great, and
Yes.
this is authentic to me and great at the same time.
Well,
Beautiful job by Brian here at Wicked Cheesesteaks.
I don't know what people from Philly are looking for. I've been to Philly. I've eaten cheesesteaks, and I've eaten cheesesteaks, not just the
What is
tourist
it,
traps.
Jimmy's or Jimmy's? Is that the place? Jim's or something
No,
like
well,
that?
there's Jim. I guess I don't know if there's John's. There's the Nick's, DINIC S is a popular place. I like Tony Luke's, which is one of the it has several locations now, mini chain, but Pat's and Geno's are the originators and all.
People suggest though that you stay away from there, and yet they do very well. I mean, they prospered forever. It can't all be tourists that are going.
It is funny. Like people like Mayo will say, "Don't go to the tourist place,"
Yeah.
but then how do they get popular? Like that's what I don't get. Is like they had to be good at one. Maybe it's watered down now, but like they got popular somehow. Like they couldn't have sucked or been average always. Like when
How did they get this reputation?
yes, that's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. Like I don't understand.
Here's what happens. It's called in Australia, they call it the tall poppy syndrome, is that when a place gets popularity and gains more followers, and then it becomes a place where tourists and outsiders go, it's no longer cool anymore, and people need to start cutting it down. They chop down the tall poppies.
Like
and
Acme Oyster House, which I think is great.
Yeah,
you
and I
think
think
they do a really good
no,
job.
I concur. It's a
They're
great
They do a
place.
great job.
I prefer going to Pascal's Manali out in the
Okay, but
Garden
I mean,
District.
if somebody said go to Acme and you went
Well, you
there, you
still
would
haven't
not be
let that go.
disappointed.
He won't let now.
No,
because
no,
he
but that's
loves
just an
Acme.
example. I mean, people say Pat and Geno's. Yeah.
I want you to say a kind word about the Wicked hot sauce.
Down
too.
Wicked hot
Well, let me
sauce
finish my
is
thought here, man. This
fantastic.
is why you haven't improved as a host. People say Pat and Geno's, and everybody makes a face and goes, "Oh, that's tourist, garbage." But I agree with Lubie. They had to be good at one point. I don't know. Could they have diminished that badly in what they produce to be at a point where none of the locals want to go there and they consider it garbage? That seems odd to me.
I haven't heard any of the specifics about why locals don't like Geno's and Pat's that much. All I know is I've gone there in the middle of the night when I was a traveling sports writer. I haven't been there in over 20
By the way,
years.
dig into this.
But I found it a little bit greasy and not maybe the best quality.
And
in
the other
terms of-
places weren't like that, is what you're saying.
No, the other places seem to take a little bit more care
Okay.
in terms of the quality of the product, the construction of the cheesesteak,
Cheesesteak, yeah.
And
You went there and ordered the wrong thing.
I was gonna say you're getting a cheesecake.
no wonder it was cheesecake on a stick
Not
instead of a cheesesteak
Yeah, exactly.
on a nice Amoroso roll. A lot of people are trashing Amoroso rolls for some
I don't know
reason.
what
Why is that?
I don't know. That's the traditional roll that it's served on. It's baked in Philly at a bakery. No, that's Amoroso Bakery.
Yeah.
I guess now a lot of times they send it out and ship it around to restaurants around the country in a frozen pre-baked state where
Oh,
you're supposed to
good.
finish
Oh,
it
and you
off
do
in an
yourself.
oven, and people say, "Oh, that's garbage," and blah blah blah. I don't know. I
Probably
mean,
better.
I've had Amoroso rolls up there that are good. I've had them down here that are fine. So it's a lot of people say the bread makes the cheesesteak, and
don't
Brian
think that's
here
true.
at Wicked Cheesesteaks
And they
uses
make
a
great
fine
bread, yeah,
product. He's in the bread business.
Yeah, they make their own bread.
And again, for those who haven't been to Wicked Cheesesteaks at 4826 North Federal Highway, and what's one of your favorite parts here, Defo?
Oh, the hot sauce. I think is
Yes,
dynamite.
the hot sauce is great.
I stole a bottle when I was here last time. I
think
don't
we
know
do
if it
every
was
time.
subconsciously I just walked out with it.
I think it's
And
very
I'm
conscious.
I love hot sauces, all different varieties, but this is outstanding. Everything I put it on some leftover food I had from the Baja
Those are
Cafe.
hot peppers.
Mexican place that is very good up there, kind of south of Hillsborough on US 1. I would recommend it to anybody. They always do a good job. I put some of this on some, like 4-day-old leftovers, and it was absolutely amazing, Mike Mayo. I don't know what it is, the secret here, but the individual hot sauce that Brian puts out, Wicked Cheesesteak's own brand, absolutely fantastic.
There you go. All right. So
Would you agree? Are you going to use some, a little spritz? or no?
Yes, I am. I wanted you to finish up because you've been complaining that I'm like somehow precluding your
No, but
high
you'll ask a
praise.
guy a question and then you don't want the answer. That's not a good thing for a host. It's not a good position. Where you tell the guy, "Hey, what do you think about that?" And then before the guy says anything, you go, "Well, we don't talk about that."
No,
you,
I
you
try to
kinda
have
stop doing a little of that.
I
Yeah.
try to have conversations with people, and then if people are talking and making a point, and then I want to kind of interject something because I think that they're on a path that whatever. I don't even know.
Matter.
You've got
Anyways,
me off my
yeah, move on.
game. Yes, I'm aware that these are hot cherry
Well, no,
peppers.
I wasn't sure. He put them on the side because I'm a wuss.
Okay,
He
and
would put 'em
these
on
are
for
the
you guys.
peppers
Let me see
that
those.
Wade puts on my bacon
The
and
cherry
hot
bomb.
cherry pepper
Oh, those
pizza.
are good. Yeah.
This livens it up, and I'm going to put a little extra hot sauce on it. And again, we're having an early celebration.
I don't think you can do a big bite with that.
I'm not. I'm doing
I
very,
wouldn't. Yeah,
very,
I would go very gently around.
no,
the
that's
edges.
very
You got like the
refined
middle
flavor.
Savor
the
that a
middle
little
one's like
bit,
the
man.
crazy one.
Savor that because
That's where
the
everything
flavor is fantastic,
falls to.
and you really got it loaded up, which is good.
Tomorrow, National Sandwich Day,
Oh yeah.
and it's never too early to celebrate the sandwich. I eat sandwiches all the time, and of course, it's
That sounds
become
great.
the tagline of this show is "Enjoy every sandwich," which was a Warren Zevon line that when he was asked what he's learned about life, and this was in his final months on the David Letterman show, and he said, "Enjoy every sandwich." That's
I think you've explained that a few times on the show.
I have, but
The whole audience is well aware of it, which is good.
are they?
That they all got turned on to Warren Zevon.
I thought one of the underpinnings of broadcasting is never assume that people who might be newcomers have heard you, from something that's
Right,
maybe
and that's why you can
been
break out the
explained
same old material like
six-
over and over again. It's good. I do it all the time.
exactly.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
that as long as you understand that,
No, I've been in
Um,
the game a long time. Mike.
I'm not even going to take this bite of the
I
sandwich.
think you
now.
should. What's the
Well,
matter with you?
Lubie's not here, and
You're upset about something today. What is it?
well, no, I mean it's okay.
Calm down, my friend.
I'm very calm,
Yeah.
very cool.
What is it?
Very
You're
collected.
just talking about what prosperity we're enjoying on the show.
I know, but
How wonderful it is.
now it's like 2 years on. You're giving me all the notes, the critiques. It's like I've gone to that consultant in San Diego that they sent you
geez,
to that
that
you were
was
talking
unbelievable,
about
yeah.
this morning when you were.
Hey, the
first
guy
meeting.
just wanted to make it with his girlfriend, and he wanted a private getaway, so he sent us all out to San Diego under fugazi circumstances.
This was when you were
This is when I was working at WQAM.
with the first team.
No, it was after the first team.
Oh, after
they
the
had
first team.
disbanded that.
Mm.
They were going to continue with some other show that was destined to failure. And unfortunately, I ran into a little incident with the law and left that station at that very abruptly right after that.
Mm.
So we never had to experience the failure of that show, which might have been the career ruination at that point. So I got lucky there at a time where I was getting very unlucky. Which you need a break every now and then in life, do you not?
Definitely.
sir.
I
Look
Look at
definitely-
you,
sir.
sun saddle dries up. Look at you now.
Yeah, look at me now. I'm awash in beautiful cheesesteaks, and what do we got here? Fried mac and cheese bites.
Fried
all
mac
this
and
stuff?
cheese, and I like the whiz. I know.
Oh wow, you are really
I
going
go
off
in
the
for
grid
it.
here.
I love the whiz, and I love ketchup on it. I really
Cheese
ruin a
whiz.
cheesesteak.
Wow, cheese whiz and ketchup.
Yes,
You have gone down the food depth chart again, my friend.
I have my things.
At one point, he was
I admit
rising with a bullet, number 2, number 1B,
There you
and
go.
now you are back in the
This is more like the
squarely-
Lubie that I was
Yeah, yeah.
I
traveling
have
my
with, where I
things.
was amazed, stunned when I watched him eat.
I like
number
trying
3,
different stuff, but I
sinking
also
like a rock. Oh my
have my
God!
He has
weird
dissected that sandwich
things.
like it was a
About
laboratory
the only
frog.
only the worst thing he could do, Defo, was if earlier this
And
week
on a
at
hot dog, I put
Grandpa's,
ketchup on it too.
if he started scooping out his bagel,
No.
and that's become a big, I guess, controversy in.
I never understood that.
Joanne
TikTok.
asked about that yesterday, and I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's become a thing because some guy from LA went to New York and tried to find a place with a gluten-free scooped bagel, and
Oh,
they all
Jesus.
laughed at him and told him get out of the store. And he posted it on TikTok, and then it went viral. Now all the food press is writing about it, Eater and Delish.com, and then there's a big bagel war now going between LA and New York about all these people who have their bagels scooped before they eat them. To me, what's the point? If you're going to go carb crazy, have a bagel.
yes, or
And-
eat half a bagel. That's what I'll do is eat half a bagel if I'm worried about my carbs. But
or buy a flagel, which is the flatter
the-
bagel that
the
doesn't have
alley-
Let me ask you a question here
Yep.
on the bagel, thread. Bagel Boss, did they open up down here? I believe they did somewhere. Is that in Weston? Very fabled. I guess, is it more of a Long Island place? The Bagel Boss. I know they have one in Merrick, New York, where my friend lives. I sometimes go to visit him, and the people literally are like 50 deep online out the door there to go to this joint.
It
So
is
very popular.
a Long Island place. They are supposedly opening a brick and mortar somewhere in Hollywood area.
Okay.
For now, all they've opened is kind of like I don't call it a pop-up, but it's kind of like a satellite little thing that's not even, I don't know if it's accessible to the general public. I think it is, but it's on the campus of a private school, the Posnack
Oh, okay. Yeah.
oh, they-
Jewish Center.
I used to play basketball there.
And so they have a Bagel Boss. I don't know if it's a window or some
Interesting.
little room that's set up that sells their bagels, but they're not baking them on the premises there.
Okay.
Supposedly, I was following their social media.
Yeah.
That they're supposedly opening somewhere in Hollywood, but things seem to have gotten delayed because they have not announced any grand openings or even an address. So I don't even know where the place supposedly is going to be. All I know is this: when I want to get a bagel, I got Grandpa's around the corner from me,
Oh, yeah.
and I
You're in
know
good
one
shape.
of the things that drives one of the people there most crazy
Is when you show up.
scooping.
Is
Yeah, honestly.
is
that
when
Mark that's not into that? No, he loves you.
no, I'm not naming names, but all I know is that this
Scooping.
one particular person, when a guest makes a request to, can I have my bagel scooped and toasted?
That's kind of a country
she
club
just,
thing, too.
She just wonders, like, first of all, why do you want, even if somebody's wearing gloves, why do you want somebody like manhandling your bagel? You should scoop your own darn bagel, like once you get it. But
I would think order something else if you're going to scoop the stuff out of a bagel. I mean,
and then,
there's not that much to it in reality.
well, again, some people just want all the crusty exterior, and I guess they want it scooped before it gets toasted, so that their exterior surface of what they're going to be eating once it's scooped out is also toasted.
You're not working on it hard enough because I devoured
Yeah, I
mine,
annihilated
and so
mine.
did Lubie. And I have to say, it was a taste sensation.
We have a
here at Wicked
controlled mayo.
Cheesesteaks.
I'm,
The argument is over about where to get a great cheesesteak. It's right here.
Oh, no,
I'm
they do it great.
restraining myself.
Why?
I don't know, but because I wanted to, I'm all off my game today, but I did want to. I've been listening to you guys, and again, congratulations! You're now on the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Well, we think.
We're trying.
No, I heard it.
It's a work in
I
progress.
heard it both.
We don't know. It's a little weird working that way.
I heard it through the app this morning at 10 o'clock. I heard it also. Then I put it on my desktop computer.
Oh, yeah?
There's going to be some, initial
Discrepancies?
It's a work in progress.
difficulties, the sound levels and stuff like that. But I
Yeah.
was able to hear you.
All right.
And one of the things I heard, it kind of triggered something in me.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah,
And
there you go.
I don't like to go around
Embarrassing.
like psychoanalyzing people, but
Mhm.
I heard two different things today.
Yes. All right.
And I wanted to ask you about. I know you don't like to talk personal stuff.
I don't
Sometimes.
mind. Whatever. I'm an
Talk
open
about
book here.
everything,
Yeah, I
everything
don't
about-
care anymore.
Uh,
I'm 72 years old. When they bury me upside down, and the people that way, my critics can kiss my ass. As
oh, that
Bobby
was
Knight said.
Bobby
Yeah,
Knight.
that was
Rest in
great.
peace,
great
Bobby
quote.
Knight.
Rest in
Great
Yes.
peace.
quote.
Our
My friend, the professor, cashed in on a Deadpool bet on it.
You would tell me, or actually, he chimed in last night. And look, I don't like to celebrate anybody's demise.
He hated Knight, though.
Bobby
that was the
Knight
thing.
was a obviously controversial figure. I called him a complicated guy because he has people. Look, we had Dusty May on the Lunchbox
Yes,
earlier
he
this
reveres
year.
him
love
to
him,
this
yeah.
day. To this
The
day.
FAU coach who took his team to the Final Four on that Cinderella ride, and he started off as a not what was it, a student manager.
Yes.
Man, those are
So
great.
you would
Bobby
think if
Knight's-
anyone was going to get the tough wrath of Bobby Knight, it would be a student manager.
Sure.
You would think he wasn't like Mr. I respect
He had to get
the student
abused by
manager.
Bobby
and
Knight
he
when
was
there.
singing his praises
Yes,
and
he
about
loved-
what a good mentor he was.
Yep.
How and
Many
that's,
people say the same
in
thing.
the obits I was reading, and again, John Feinstein, your friend, who's going to be on your show on the
Wow.
Sports
Probably
Morning
next
show
week,
next week,
Yeah.
who wrote the classic book Season on the Brink. But basically, John wrote for the 25th anniversary edition of it a new foreword, and
Oh,
he
he
said,
did.
Oh,
yeah. And I was reading, they
Oh,
actually
I'm glad we
used
keep
a
you around.
quote in the New York Times obit to finish the obituary. It was a Feinstein quote that he wrote for the 25th anniversary edition that said, if I had $1 for everybody who said that Bobby Knight was the kind, like was what showed such like generosity and did something really kind and was really a good person, he said, I would be, a millionaire. And then conversely, if I had $1 for every time somebody said he was the meanest and just worst
SRB, yeah.
person in the world, I'd be Bill Gates. So the
No,
guy,
exactly.
he had obviously maybe he was undiagnosed bipolar. Maybe he was. I don't know.
I mean, he's a human being.
He had
We
two
all have
sides.
Yeah, he was kind of
levels.
old school. I mean, he was a lot like Bill Parcells. They were very similar in some ways, although I don't think Parcells was, exhibiting the excesses
Got
in
physical,
terms
yeah.
of bad behavior. Choking people and things like that, throwing chairs, punching cops.
Yeah, grabbing people by the genital. I mean, it was a different
I know what the
time,
genital- I know what the
and it
But
was.
coaches had that kind of authoritative figure where, you weren't even going to talk about the abuses
Yeah, you get away
that
with
you
anything.
suffered while a coach made you do some outrageously amount of grueling exercise because he wasn't happy with the
But
way you
not
were
only
playing.
that, for a guy who's a coach and wanted to have people respect him and authority, he basically thumbed the nose at the justice system
Yes.
of Puerto Rico when he had that incident where there was him and a police officer in Puerto Rico when he was there for the Pan Am Games. He ended up getting arrested. He ended up getting sentenced to 30 days in court in absentia. He didn't show up for the trial, and he never served the sentence. So he basically thumbed his nose at the whole thing.
Well,
And
He
over-
probably didn't vacation in Puerto Rico, though.
never.
I would imagine that
And-
was off
and-
the list.
And then his last straw at Indiana University, which led to his firing, was when a student on campus just was walking past him, not even one of his players, and just said, "Hey, Knight, what's up?" and didn't address him as
Nice
coach or Mister. And again, that offended his old school sensibilities to the point where
Sounds
apparently
like Nick Saban
he throttled the
when
kid.
he was with the Dolphins.
I think he throttled the kid, and the kid, and he verbally abused him. And
These are
laid
great,
hands
by the
on
way.
him.
What are those jalapeno poppers?
Mac and cheese
Jalapeno
bites.
pop.
Oh, mac and cheese bites, phenomenal. Yeah,
Anyway, I only had, I did. I think
you're the only guy that liked the guy.
No, I didn't say I liked him. I said that the one time I ran into him, because I never really covered much college basketball, but it was on the backstretch of Churchill Downs one year before a Kentucky Derby,
Different environment.
and he was
He's probably a great guy there.
very friendly
Yeah.
with Dwayne Lucas, of course, another Hall of Fame trainer.
Yep.
Who was a basketball coach?
Who was a basketball coach, and him and Coach Knight were very good friends. And it's like when you run into Bill Parcells on the backstretch
Well,
or at
if you met the
Gulfstream,
stream, I'm sure
is
he's
a
like the
different
greatest
human
dude, yeah.
being than
Sure.
when he's on the side.
You know who was very much like that? George Steinbrenner. What was a terrific guy. If you met him around the racetrack, he would not be any more gracious of a human being you wouldn't be able to find. And then, when he was at a press conference with the Yankees, all he was doing was justifying firing Billy Martin while he was already deceased.
But Bobby Knight, again, couldn't have been more like in a great mood, talkative, and just I remember, it was a bunch of reporters. It was Derby week, and some of the Kentucky we were just like chatting with him about different horses and their friendship. And he was just couldn't have been more gracious. He was smiling, he was laughing, he was telling stories. And again, people are complicated. They have many different facets. And in his case, I'm going to say rest in peace. And but the professor is doing a happy dance
Yes,
because
he
he
made a
cashed
score.
in on a guy again. You with your sick
Picked up a
degenerate
nice piece of
fools,
change. Yeah.
$3,000.
Hey, you may as well have some fun. The guy's dead anyway. What are you going to do?
I know. Look, it doesn't really bother me, but
Was you going to
Doesn't
give him
bother
a
me.
longer life if the professor didn't have him?
No,
I give
some
some
people
people
300 to
crap.
1?
a little bit distasteful. I don't know.
A little bit.
I don't
Acting
know what-
ridiculous.
I don't know what our chat
I
lines
love
people are
completely
saying right
distasteful.
now, but
talking
Yeah.
about the Deadpool.
nobody's talking.
Joanne
about
says, someone says, I guess Joanne had a comment about the bagel thing.
the scoop
and
bagel. I don't know if
Don,
she's offended.
Don, I guess,
My thing is scoop your
Commenting
own
on the
damn
comment.
bagel, and then if you want, give it back to them to toast it after you scoop it yourself.
I'll give you an order that used to drive me out of my mind,
Yep.
and every other server in this particular place, had the same despicable approach to actually executing this. When a customer, I was working at the Seaway Country Club on Long Island, very briefly. I needed to make some money for about a week, so I got a job there, and we were serving the lunch service. It was mostly the women because the guys were out playing golf, all of these rich cats, and so the women would order a salmon sandwich on split rye toast.
Oh, gee. Oh, they want you
And
to cut it
split
down the
rye
middle.
toast. They wanted one slice of rye bread, not half a sandwich,
No.
but they wanted it split the long way.
Horizontally.
And I'm like, lady, why don't you just get one slice of bread and eat half a sandwich? And
How
that
do you
wasn't
do
really
that?
something that very carefully. I mean, because it wasn't like the rye bread was all that thick, and you had to get a knife out and slice it.
With a knife, or
With a
like
knife,
you don't
yeah.
put it in a slicer.
You couldn't
or like
put it in
No,
a
not back
slicer,
in the
no.
day.
a jeweler's bandsaw. Or
And
something
it was
like that.
amazing. Like as soon as one person would order it, everybody
Everyone
went, "Oh
wants
yeah,
that.
I'll have that too." You're like sitting back there slicing this loaf of rye bread again, and like it would be just waste all of your time while you were supposed to be serving these people.
That would be aggravating.
Yeah,
Hey.
but is it not the same as eating one slice of rye bread,
Yes,
whether
it's
you
the
slice
same
it the
thing.
long way or in half?
Yes. You get to feel like you have a whole sandwich.
Do
at
the
least that
math
way
on that
instead of
one,
doing a
Michael.
half a sandwich.
Yeah, you went to Tufts.
What they need to do is
tricking
bake
themselves.
thinner. Well, no, it's the slicing machines like they have at Publix. It slices rye a certain way, but I think it can be adjusted so that
Yes,
you
you can make
slice
it
thinner
thinner.
slices,
Yes.
But then they
That's-
would still want that split.
and they'll you
These
do is
people were Meshuggah. I mean,
Start
very
with the-
wealthy.
start with a very thick one, and then
Yeah.
it's much easier to cut it in half, and they'll still think it's half a piece of rye. So,
It used to drive everybody
All right,
crazy, man.
can we get back? I meandered like Defo today.
We always
Yeah.
meander.
the cycle.
What topic are you on?
No, the two. Okay, there were two competing things which I thought was interesting. Number one, you mentioned.
I probably didn't remember what I said the first time.
No, number one, you said that you haven't read a full book since like
Slugger
Slugger in
in
right field. Yeah. It's probably
Roger
true.
Maris?
Roger Maris wrote the book, supposedly.
Supposedly,
There was a
ghostwritten.
ghostwriter
He didn't
named
write
on
the
the
book,
book.
right.
Do you really think
Roger-
Roger sat down and tapped that
No.
out?
So
Roger Maris
you
did
didn't
not write the
read a
book.
whole book.
You didn't even have electric typewriters back then.
What year was this? Like grade school or middle
Oh,
school?
that'd be like in the early 60s, I would think, since Roger Maris wasn't really a popular player until he was with the Yankees.
So we're going to put yourself at about like 10, 12 years old.
Yeah, 10 or 11 years old. I finally
Okay.
read a book. I was not a big reader of books. I do
Right.
read a lot, but I don't read a lot of books.
Okay. The second thing I heard
Yeah.
when you were talking this morning is that your father was a book editor.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
he was.
Yeah. His,
Yeah.
his father was
So-
He was very
big
well read,
literary,
too. I mean, like,
big and
extremely
nice.
well read.
Exactly. So do you have some sort of father issue?
No,
or
not at all.
That was
literary
great.
issue?
My
Like,
brother is exactly like my father, and I was much more in line with my mother's approach to life. My brother and father were both, I mean, just stone intellectuals, and you
you're
know,
a stoned intellectual.
well, I'm not nearly in that
He's
a
category.
stone intellectual. Okay.
I've been stoned, a good portion of the time in my adult life, but that has nothing to do with intellectualism. Which these guys are at another level. My father and my brother.
Okay.
I mean, they're like Mensa guys.
So they read a lot. They read books.
Yes,
along
I mean,
with
my father,
magazines and-
my brother will read a book in Russian. I mean, even though he doesn't speak Russian, he'll understand it. He's just like that, and very much
So-
like my father. And
But I'm just wondering. So it has nothing to do like not getting back at your father.
I
or
love my
feeling
father.
if
No,
you're-
my father.
His
was
dad
great.
was great. His
My
dad would used to
was
listen
a
every
terrific
day
person,
and would
yeah.
call
Yeah.
and say, Michael, I think you call me Michael.
Couldn't have been raised by a better man.
Don't
Okay, no,
Tell
that's all
Jeffrey
right.
this. But what the hell is he talking about? I'm like, I don't know, sir. I don't know. I
Not
don't know.
everything represents rebellion. It could just be laziness.
You know
That's why I'm
what?
going to attributing it to what it is.
Sometimes
I love my father. I just was too lazy to read a book.
Sometimes the most logical
Yeah.
explanation is the
Is
one that
the
actually
answer,
is.
yes, yes.
Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
There it
Yes.
is. Yeah.
Freud said.
No, his dad was
Sometimes
great.
a split rye toast is just the same as slicing it in half the other way.
Yeah.
Lady.
Oh, man.
And you used to, I mean, there was a thing about, there was a temptation to just kind of fling it at the, while you might
Like a
gently drop the
Frisbee?
plate. Yeah.
Like
but
those
it's
little
like,
thin
there's
slices.
your
just say,
sandwich, like in
"Eat the
casino.
sandwich."
Yeah, there's your sandwich. You're sending it out to the cops.
Oh man. Well, we're here at Wicked Cheesesteaks, and we are enjoying our cheesesteak. What do you call it? Hoagie, I guess they call it.
You
in
have been
Pennsylvania.
very sedate.
love this gentleman
reluctant. I
because
mean, there's
his-
more
We've
food
got
his
coming.
more service.
delivery.
I think I met him last month, right? I did.
Yeah, he's a member of the
yeah.
Let's Eat
That's
Self
great. How are
He's
you,
a
my
member.
friend? Yeah.
Good to see
That,
you.
that's
member of
Mike
the
Mayo,
We've
ladies
got
and gentlemen. Mike
room
Mayo.
service here,
Yeah, I
white
love
glove
this.
service.
Well,
of
here's
course.
your lobster
oh my
roll.
God.
Oh,
We-
two lobster.
Oh, we're good
Wow.
for now. And of
We are
course,
good, sir. Thank you.
Delicious.
Ryan,
yeah.
the owner, and his wife Sonata. They operate
love the
the
root beer.
store. It's a great place to come for ball games, weekends, the college football, pro football. They're not going to be open for breakfast this weekend for the Dolphins Chiefs
How
game.
about the Thursday
but
night game? Look at this special.
Thursday
that's going
night
on.
game.
Yeah.
You got pizza specials. And of course, they're known for the big collection of root beers and other specialty sodas from around.
I would
the
get a
country.
bunch of these mac and cheese bites.
Pops
For sure.
and sodas. I got myself a brownie caramel cream root beer today since
Oh, that sounds nice.
1929.
Oh, it's nice, yeah.
From
That's what I was looking for. That's what I had last time. It was
I
freaking
forgot
great.
which one. Where I can't even read. I need my readers, but
That one's great.
It's from somewhere, but it's one of the finest sugary sodas I've had in a while.
that's great.
Might be using real cane sugar. It tastes like it. And
You don't know the history of this thing?
No, I'm not
You don't know the
familiar with the
history.
brownie caramel cream root beer.
Been around long enough
But-
for you to study it, Mayo.
I know, since
1929.
29. That was.
How do you know nothing about this particular root beer?
Oh, Lord.
No, I don't know.
Well,
Did you read a lot of books? You probably did. 'cause,
Mayo read.
you're like
read-
a
you know
Mayo
geographer.
was
what?
a reader, yeah.
I've become like you. I used to read a lot of books, and now I don't know what happened. It's the short.
I wish I
attention.
had, though. It's one of my regrets in life about
I'm in
myself.
between.
Is that I didn't read a lot.
I'm not an avid reader, but
Yeah.
I have read books
Here's what
since I
I've
was 7.
found recently. I start a lot of books, but I
Yeah,
don't
you don't
finish
finish
them.
them,
I ended up
yeah.
reading, and then. But I'm like you. I mean, I'm on the internet and I'm reading magazine pieces
Articles,
and
yeah,
10,000 word articles all the time, and so I feel like I have a pretty decent knowledge base. But
Yeah.
I just don't get through entire novels or some of these biographies.
It's
that
kind
are
of a joke.
800 pages.
Sometimes I've brought a book with me that I've had sitting around for like 2 years and I was supposed to read, like something that Jim Sarney gave me, for example. And I'll take it on the plane, thinking maybe I'll read it, and then I'm asleep within the first 5 seconds after they took off.
It is a very
And,
good
and,
sedative.
and the Mustang knows there's no way. She starts laughing as soon as she sees me, bringing this book onto the plane. He's like, "You will not read one word in that book while you're on this flight, and even on the way to
Sure
Italy,
enough.
yeah, not
That's
one
it.
word."
There you go. Hey, let's take our first break, but first we got to put in a good word for our friends at Visit Lauderdale
Yes.
Food and Wine Festival. It's
Around
coming
the
up,
corner.
fast
Yeah, yeah,
approaching.
yeah, yeah,
Can't
yeah.
believe it. January 8th through the 14th. It's
Yep.
going to be a whole series of events. Some of them are big ticketed events with
Yep.
the larger crowds. Some of them are smaller, intimate dinners at some of the best restaurants around the greater Fort Lauderdale area. The full lineup of the dinners is going to be unveiled soon. And I'm telling you, it's going to be great. But for now, you're going to want to get your hands on some of those tickets for like the grand tasting, which is going to be on Saturday, January 13th at the A1A and Las Olas Beachfront Park.
Nice.
And VIP tickets are still available. They're going fast. And that's going to be an all-day affair with a lot of great restaurants and sips, wines, everything that you can imagine. Go to vlfoodwine.com to log on, check out the full slate of events, and get yourself some tickets or your loved ones. Great stocking stuffer for the holidays. For the food lover in your life, they got the barbecue event on the Friday night. This new walk and roll Asian
that sounds
themed
so fun.
event. Yeah, that's going to be great with
Our guys from
the guys from Temple Street
Temple
Eatery
Street.
that are opening a new food hall in Pembroke Pines later this month. They're one of like 4 or 5 vendors that are going to be in this new food hall, and we're going to try to get out there this month to kind of
hopefully.
give a little flavor and preview the new place. I know
Sounds
you
good to
like
me,
dim
yeah.
sum and dumplings and things like
yeah.
that.
Not necessarily my game, but I'll
right.
indulge, no doubt.
Oh, yeah,
Who
for
doesn't like a good dumpling?
Yeah.
But
I love
the
dumplings.
Wednesday night event is the bar brawl, a bar fight. It's different mixologists that are clashing and coming up with different great concoctions. All these events, you can check them out at vlfoodwine.com. Get your tickets today. And I'll be there.
Did you ever
judging some
ask about the
events.
percentage? Because I have it
No,
on the chat.
Phil's been a little bit involved with a personal situation. And,
So should I erase it?
No, well, you can, I mean, yeah, for now. That's it.
'Cause I don't want to send them there.
Yeah, at some point, we're hoping to get the discount code. You can see how
I
organized
would think they would
are.
throw a couple of shekels your way
Yeah.
if you mentioned Mike
Yeah.
Mayo.
Yeah, well, we'll mention that hopefully we'll get that discount code for the
Just pretend you
Lunchbox
are Mike Mayo. You'll get in for free.
up and running.
You won't have to worry about anything.
All right, blfoodwine.com. Go check it out. All the info is there, and hopefully we'll get the discount situation sorted out. But you do want to get those VIP tickets when you can, because they're going fast and they're well worth the reasonable price, even the full rate without the discount. So
You didn't have any resentment towards your old man, did you? I mean, I thought you
No,
loved the
we
guy.
were great.
Yeah,
We were
okay.
great. Yeah, no, it was
Did he
all
take you
good.
to the track as a kid? Because mine didn't. I mean, my parents were not into sports. Nobody else in my family was into
My
it. which is
parents were
kind of
not
weird.
gamblers. It skipped a generation.
Yeah.
Both my dad and his father were both dentists. So maybe I
Your
rebelled
grandfather was a
against him
bookie?
by eating a lot of candy and sugary snacks. I just never wanted to become a dentist as well. But my grandfather was a big life of the party, and he and his brothers
good.
would go to the races.
All right.
They had a good time. They
It had
played
to come from
cards.
somewhere.
Yes.
All right, we're coming back more with Wicked Cheesesteak. So we do want to advise you about the specials here because you have a Thursday night football game.
Yes.
If you're watching on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
A 16-inch cheese pizza. It's right up here on the wall. $10.
You
$10
understand? 16
man.
inches an hour,
And
like
it's outstanding,
$20.
too.
They're like $20 for
16 ounce inch pepperoni pizza, $12, and dollar wings.
Wow.
Which is pretty incredible because they do a great job with the wings here at Wicked Cheesesteaks. It is just south of Commercial Boulevard on Federal Highway on the east side of the street, across from Holy Cross. Brian does a great job. He's got so much variety here. You're going to love it.
Yep.
Come on out. I'm seeing Lubie is hoarding the 2 lobster rolls. And
I just want to showcase them. You guys
yeah,
are
no,
wrong on
those look fantastic. And
That's
we're coming back
delicious.
with more of Mike Mayo's Psychoanalysis Lunchbox.
I'm eating now. Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. And we're back on the Lunchbox. We're here at Wicked Cheesesteaks, Pizza, Wings, and more. 4826 North Federal Highway. Yeah, we got a cheering section.
What do you guys have? You got the regular cheesesteak? Wow.
Straight up
The
cheesesteaks.
full
I see
lunch.
one with cheese whiz and one.
It's the height of the lunch
Oh,
hour.
wow. Just meat only? Wow.
Yeah, we got it. Got it.
Meat only. That's a different
People
approach.
are in here. Every day is sandwich day at
Yep.
Wicked
Wicked.
Cheesesteaks.
Look at the
Yep.
People
size
are
of these
digging-
things, though.
Yeah, they're digging in. It's a lovely scene. And of course, Brian and Sonato, they will take great care of you. They're on all the delivery apps.
Let me ask you, and I'm not
Yep.
comparing. Like, one of my favorite things about this is because much you're like this. My wife and I like different stuff, right?
Right.
So we don't want to just get a cheesesteak or just get a lobster roll. And I feel like a lot of these cheesesteak places, it's really just cheesesteaks, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
or
but
sub
that's what-
shops where they have cheesesteaks among the offerings.
So
with
they are. It
Italian
is
subs.
rare here, right? Because they do almost any kind of food you could want. They do it, like wings and pizza, and he'll make quesadillas, and he does a lot of different stuff, which to me it makes me love this place even more
It's a
because you can have
comfort
variety.
food, comforting food.
I mean, look at these lobster rolls. They're calling my name.
I
Go
know,
for it.
and this is good because we got full ones. I guess I'm
I
gonna
think they're
just.
cut in half. They're not
Are
cut in
they?
half.
No, this is. Don't worry, Lubie. Just stay here. You know,
You're gonna annihilate a whole.
I'll annihilate.
Lubie
one
does
more.
preside like a rabbi over the food as he was
Yeah,
blessing
no,
it.
it's
Yeah,
like
it really is something. Huh?
He's
You would
our,
think it was all kosher, and Rabbi Lubitz had to bless
he's
it.
blessing
Yeah.
him. I don't think this lobster could ever be a blessed kosher.
No?
but,
All right.
it is a blessed lobster roll. Brian's originally from Maine. His wife Sonata's from the Philly area. Hence cheesesteaks and lobster rolls, along with all the other.
Have
great
you had the
bites.
Hanks
Oh yeah, so the
orange
soda
cream
collection.
soda?
It's so
Wow.
funny that you just grabbed that one during the break because I almost reached for that one because I've never had I love an orange creamsicle,
Mhm.
dessert popsicle
I
on a
was
stick.
curious about that. Yeah.
Never had an orange cream soda. I instead went for
Delicious.
the brownie. Tell
Really?
me, no, your reaction when you took a sip was you don't know what to make of it.
Well,
right?
I wasn't sure what I was getting into because it looks like it's going to be an orange soda. So
but
and it does say orange cream soda. So the cream, aspect of it kind of surprised me
It's
a
a
little
different
bit.
flavor.
But once you take that first sip, you're saying, "Wow,
That's
this
nice.
is sensational! Nice combination."
So is it a creamsicle like the
It
white
kind of is,
interior?
yeah. It almost replicates. And I was thinking the other day about bringing this up on a show because I used to love the creamsicle.
I loved it.
Ah,
too.
Yeah.
the creamsicle. That
Yeah,
creamsicle's great.
And a lot of people would look, kind of funny, if you had a creamsicle. But this is very much, a reasonable facsimile of a liquid version of the
The
creamsicle.
reason why I like the creamsicle is because sometimes when you get straight up Italian ices, it's just watery and all you
Yeah.
get is a
It's not as good a flavor.
sugar. And it's too much sugar and syrup and watery. But when you introduce the cream aspect,
This is
it
great.
makes it creamier, but without the full creamy effect of ice cream. But the creamsicle. Now, have you seen out and about? There's a new wave of frozen dessert shops. One of them is called Jeremiah's,
Okay.
and what they do is it's kind of and Rita's also.
Rita's. I've seen Rita's.
But where they kind of put in a little soft serve ice cream, kind of like the creamsicle, mixed in
An
between
icy.
layers of the ices. Which
See, that's interesting.
I think it's a
Yeah.
good product. I've had it a couple of times, and
It's always nice if you're having, which I occasionally buy, some orange sherbet. And it's great if you have some vanilla ice cream in there and you can combine that together. Very much like the concept of the
yeah,
creamsicle.
the creams. It's good when you get a little cream. It cuts the sugar aspect, increases the fat a little bit. But,
Yeah, but it makes it more-
It's a good combination.
everybody
Rich
needs
and
a-
filling. It gives you a
everybody
little
needs
more.
a little fat. That's what I keep trying to tell my doctors. So here we go. I'm going to go
What are you
into
doing
the,
here?
the,
All right,
the
you're-
lobster. It's not a big bite. I'm just going to kind of nibble.
I
at
think
the
you should
edges.
go for the whole thing.
Let's go.
There you go.
And he does a nice job.
Louis
lightly
is a little
dressed.
upset, though. He wanted half of that thing.
We wanted to try it. Yes.
Are you taking that one home?
Me? No, I'll split it with Louis.
That's
Okay.
fine.
I mean, he's looking for a bite right now.
He gets
I'm
upset
okay.
anytime. I
Carve
like-
this up, Louis.
I'm
Yeah,
okay.
no, Louis
No,
takes
when Mayo
ownership of the
claims
food.
sandwiches, no, I would try to have it divvy it up evenly.
The roll, though,
Mayo,
on
like,
this,
annihilates
it
food.
looks like,
I
and I
don't
used to
need
love
the lobster.
these.
I'm not a big
It
lobster
looks
roll
like the
top.
old Needix hot dog roll.
It is a
little
split
bit.
top. In New
Yeah.
England, they love having their hot dogs and lobster rolls in what's called the split top bun. This is a buttered, toasted split top bun stuffed with fresh plain lobster.
What
that
were
he
you, a
steams
Needix fan back in New York?
I
They
was
had
a
the orange drink
I
and
was
then
a
they had the
Nathan's.
hot dogs, but they were in a bun like
This
this,
is
which
all
was
yours.
I was a
very, very
Nathan's
different.
guy. I was
Nathan's.
Nathan's,
Okay.
and occasionally, what was the one in the city that they had? Oh, Gray's Papaya, right? Gray's Papaya when I was in high school because they used to have like 2 of them for 50 cents with the drink.
Man, that's great.
And then a Nathan's because I'm a Brooklyn boy and I go out to Coney Island. And actually at King's Plaza in Brooklyn, they had a full-on Nathan's that had not just the hot dogs, which they're famous for, but they had all these different stations where they'd have like raw clams on the half shell. And this is something that I imagine I used to eat it and it was terrible, but I would order it again. And I can imagine you would like this. The chow mein on a bun with the crunchy noodles on top. Have you ever seen or heard of that?
Nurse, we were near Holy Cross Hospital. I don't remember having chow mein on a bun with noodles on top.
That was Nathan's for some reason. I think some of those like satellite stores, you didn't see that at the original on Coney Island, but like there was one in Oceanside, Long Island. There was one in Brooklyn at King's Plaza where they'd have like 18 different food stations. They'd have burgers, they'd have the clam bar, they'd have the hot dogs, they'd have like
the clam
pastrami
chowder
sandwiches,
station,
and then out of nowhere there would be just like Chinese, like chow mein on a bun.
Oh, chow mein on a bun.
Chow mein on a bun.
Oh, I thought you said clam chowder on a bun.
No,
No,
like the chow
chow
mein that you
mein.
talk about.
Chow mein on a bun.
Chow mein on a bun.
Yeah,
I've
vaguely
never heard of that
remember that.
before.
I don't know that I ever ordered one.
It was
though,
so
like that.
weird, but
Yeah.
I've
one
never
of my
heard of that.
Brooklyn buddies, Bill
This lobster
Sherman,
roll is outstanding.
he loved getting the chow mein on a bun. But and you know how you always talk about the crispy noodles
Yep,
and the
I
little
love
cup
those.
on
Those are
top.
my
favorite.
Of
Yep.
what was it? The brand that was the
French's
no,
onion
no bok
things.
choy. What was the
Yeah, I know
thing
what you're talking about. Isn't
in
it?
the supermarket? You would often mention it that when you would buy a can of chow mein in the supermarket.
Chungking.
Chungking
Yeah.
Right.
is what
Well,
always talks about.
I saw
Basic-
some the other day. I almost picked up a can.
So basically, Nathan's, they would have, those little thin noodles
I
that
love
they would
those.
put it on top of the chow mein that they put on the bun. So it would be like potato sticks on
That's
a bun.
what you were ordering. I thought you went there for a hot dog and some fries.
I did. But
But
sometimes
Panitics, I believe, what was the main place to get a dog when you were in like Grand Central Station.
I didn't spend a lot of time at Grand Central Station.
Okay, because I
so-
took the train a lot as a kid. I was 14, started taking the train into the city quite a bit, working at Shea, and so you get a hot dog on your way out of there, and it was Neatix, and it was on one of these kind of buns. But
I'm confused.
is he loading more lobster on these lobster rolls for $20?
It feels like
than anybody does in town.
he puts a lot of lobster
He,
on.
puts,
Wow.
he gives a nice roll. He also offers a double meat option for additional charge for those who really like it stacked.
Unnecessary.
I'm totally confused because you said the Neatix at Grand Central, but if you took a train in, you lived in Long Island, didn't the LIRR go to Penn Station right below Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Penn Station.
Penn
Yeah,
Station.
yeah.
Okay, now that's it. Because these New Yorkers on the chat lines, they'd be ruthless. They say, Grand Central was going
No,
up
you're
to
right, Penn
Westchester
Station.
and Connecticut.
That's
So
exactly what I was
that's it. So,
thinking of.
Penn Station had the Neatix.
I believe they had a Neatix very easily accessible. You didn't have to walk very far. It was like right there. And they had the kind of bread toasted buns, which even though their hot dog wasn't as good as Nathan's,
With
it
top
made
buns.
it made it very desirable,
Always good.
which was good.
Hey, let's take our next break. And
Yeah,
this
sir.
one is
What are you hooking?
let's see. Let's talk about Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market
Yes.
because it is a Delaware Thursday
Yeah.
and we're going to be there in, I guess it's just 2 more Thursdays from today. 2 weeks from today, we're going to be making our monthly visit, getting ready for Thanksgiving, and we're going to have a Friendsgiving there. But you're going to want to go in there now and pick up stuff for this weekend. They've got great products, the seafood, the steaks, pork, sausages that they make in-house. And you could also then give your order for Thanksgiving because you're going to want to get one of those great fresh killed turkeys to put on your holiday table. If you are cooking at home, it's the best. I've been getting my holiday birds from Delaware for over 25 years. It is so good. And again, you'll stock up for whatever you need during the whole holiday season for seafood with the stone crabs they get in fresh every day now. Florida lobster season is ongoing. They've got grouper and
Well, that's the
tuna
thing. I
and
like that they do the
swordfish.
local fresh fish, but they also, because we were talking with Brad last week about there's a local restaurant that you're not the biggest fan because their thing is getting fish from everywhere else. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but we have some of the best fish in the world here. Delaware covers both bases where you can
Yes.
get the Branzino from like the Mediterranean,
and
and
the
then you can also
halibut
get the
from
tuna
West
grouper
Coast.
from here.
Yeah, but then you get the grouper, the
Alaska
snapper.
salmon, and
It's a beautiful thing. You got to go in there if you've never been in there. Check it out for yourself. It's a beautiful display cases.
Yep.
Everything is fresh, quality,
efficient.
reasonably priced,
They get you in
very
and out.
efficient. The crew in there, Doug Carter
Great.
and his whole staff, they've been doing it a long time, since the early 60s. 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, right across from the Seminole Classic Casino. And again, starting in September, you could lay
Sports
off your
gambling.
sports bets at the casino and then go right across the street. Or better yet, after you cash in your winning tickets, go across the
Exactly.
street and pick up some stone crabs.
Stone
and
crabs. That would be the way to go.
fillets.
You had
Yeah.
a big wad of cash. It's awesome.
Go in there to Delaware. Again, DelawareChicken.com is the website that gets all the information, the phone number to make your holiday orders, and also the weekly specials, the daily offerings. DelawareChicken.com, Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market.
They are the best. They really do a great job.
do a
It's
tremendous job.
extremely impressive going in there every time. All right, coming back with more Wicked Cheesesteaks. Once again, Thursday night specials. 16-inch cheese
I'm
pizza.
telling you, pizza is like
$10
$20-something to get like a good
My
large
God,
pizza.
and it's great pizza. It really is. This isn't some frozen piece of cardboard or
No,
anything.
no.
16-inch pepperoni, $12, and dollar wings with purchase. So you can get yourself like 50 wings for $50. Invite a bunch of people over, watch the game, and have yourself a great time right here at Wicked Cheesesteaks. And that's on Federal Highway on the east side, across from Holy Cross, just south of Commercial Boulevard. Lobster roll is dynamite, and we're coming
Fantastic.
back with more in a moment.
Want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasta platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets, they've got eggs Benedict, they've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. 4, a Delray Beach favorite since 2010. Casual waterfront dining right on the Intracoastal and the Avenue. Located at 840 East Atlantic, there's valet parking and dock and dine available. By land and sea, this is the place to be, with modern American cuisine, fresh seafood, and a sushi bar. Stay cool in the interior dining room or chill out on the air-conditioned outdoor deck and bar. All your favorites are here, including burgers, tacos, and their great spinach cheese dip. Weekend brunch until 2 p.m. and live music every Saturday and Sunday afternoon. For reservations and more information, go to deck84.com and tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Lunchbox. Yes, there we are, back at Wicked Cheesesteaks, Pizza, Wings, and more in Fort Lauderdale. And before we wrap up today's show, I got to talk about the Rappaport Restaurant Group.
Yes.
Next week on Tuesday, we'll be out at Burton Max's in West Del Rey, just west of the Turnpike there. Our friend Buddha is the general manager.
Yes.
Just was talking with Amber from Rappaport's, and she says they're introducing their new fall menu this week, and we're going to be sampling some of those items next week with the chef out there at Burton Max's. I also want to put in a good word that all 4 of their restaurants, actually 5 of them, including the Palm Beach Garden, the Prezzo, but Burton Max's, Deck 84, Max's Grill, Prezzo, and of course, what was the other one? That's all good.
Max's Grill.
Max's Grill.
Grill.
Burton Max's, Deck
Deck
84,
84.
Prezzo.
Yep.
All of them are going to be open for Thanksgiving.
That's 4.
Yeah, we,
Only
shot
4.
fighter.
One has
What
2
happened?
locations. That makes
Prezzo
five.
has 2 locations. I get it.
Yes, Prezzo, Boca, which we'll be visiting at the end of this month on November 27th, the Monday after Thanksgiving. But you're going to want to go check them out. They're all open on Thanksgiving, different hours. We'll get into that more next week when we're out there. But I want to alert you something even before Thanksgiving.
All right.
They do this promotion that's tied into Veterans Day, but also all year long. This is a fantastic thing. At the Deck 84 Burton Max's and Max's Grill, they help support this local great nonprofit. It's called Vets Helping Heroes. And what it does is they provide service dogs to veterans who are in need.
That's sweet.
And what they do at those 3 Rappaport restaurants, Deck, Burton Max's, and Max's Grill, they have specialty items for your pets because they're all pet friendly out on the outdoor patios. So when you order a doggy item from those menus and restaurants, they take a portion of the proceeds and they help support this wonderful Vets Helping Heroes outfit that supplies the service dogs to veterans in need.
Yeah,
and on Veterans Day, they're going to donate 20% of every dog menu item to this group. They've been taking a portion of proceeds all year long, and so far they've raised thousands of dollars this year for the
That's fantastic.
Great
idea.
The Vets Helping
Look what
Heroes.
having a dog has done for Lubie.
Yeah, no, I mean,
He's even more
Yeah.
he's even
I'm-
more sugar it
Yeah, I
today
was
than he
gonna
was
say, I'm
before he
still
had
less
the dog.
stressed.
I love my dogs, but
I
but the
adore my
service
dog,
dog
but
for the
he's a
vets, just a
I
fantastic
can't
program.
have
Yes,
a dog. I
he
kill
makes me
plants.
happy.
Every plant that's come under my care, I've managed to kill, so I wouldn't want to be entrusted. with
I would
canine
start with a
animal.
goldfish and see how you do with
They
that.
didn't make it either. Neither did my hamster. Hey, one quick topic what I didn't get to, but over the weekend, one of the Let's Eat South Florida posts was somebody that went for the first time to this new meat market restaurant steakhouse in Boca Raton. There's one of them that originally opened in Palm Beach, but they've now opened another location in Boca Raton. This guy said, "Oh, we had a nice meal and the service was really good, but," and there's always the but.
Yep.
Why else would he be on Let's See?
2 things. Number one, he said his wife's steak was excellent, well prepared. He ordered, I guess they have an item that's a trio of little mini filet mignons.
Oh, that's cool.
One of his trio was overcooked.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
The other 2 were okay. And then, get this,
Mhm.
they ordered as a side dish lobster mac and cheese,
Okay.
but heavens, instead they brought the lobster mashed potatoes. They pointed it out. They took away the lobster mashed potatoes and they took away the overcooked little mini filet.
Okay.
And it took a whole 10 minutes for them to replace those items
Not bad.
on a Saturday night.
I was gonna say that's quick.
It's real attention to detail there for sure.
When the manager came over and basically apologized for the little bit of a mix-ups, and then they ended up getting the bill, and lo and behold, there
It was
was
still
no
there.
dispensation compensation given for the stumbles. And the
Okay.
guy was saying, what do you think? Should they have at least taken something off the bill?
Not if they fixed it.
Yeah, within 10 minutes, no, I would expect to pay for it.
It's
Because-
ridiculous. No.
Okay, when do you get like to me?
I mean, if
they,
it came an hour later and
Yes,
it was
yes,
overcooked
yes,
again,
yes.
all right, then you should discount it.
10 minutes is nothing.
2 minor things on a Saturday night, a 10-minute swap out, and you get the right thing. Fine. All right. So you didn't have the side dish at the exact same time as your main course. It's not a deal breaker or a killer in terms of, restaurant. Should everything be perfect at that price point?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
We're in the real world, and it's a new restaurant. It's been open less than a month, so there's already going to be some
Could happen
glitches.
anywhere.
And here was my thing: is like don't expect anything being taken off the bill. I mean, these are expensive meat items, and I'm sure a lobster mac and cheese is probably like a $30 ticket these days.
I would think,
So
unless you're getting it here.
if I was a manager, I would just say, "Sir, I'm sorry about the little mix-up. Can I bring you an after dinner drink? Can I bring you a dessert?
Might have been nice,
Dessert.
sure.
Comp them a dessert. That's it. But don't expect anything to come off the bill."
Yeah, and they ate 2/3 of the thing, which was fine.
Yeah.
That was the other thing. And
They had,
by the time the lobster mac and cheese came out, I would imagine that was to their satisfaction. So did they eat it? That would be the other
Yeah,
thing.
they
If they
did.
said, "Hey,
ate it
listen,
all
we don't
up.
want this anymore,"
And that's a good point. It's
Yeah.
one thing
You
if,
can eat
if,
it exactly.
If one dish is completely, messed up and they have to take away the whole dish, and you're
Yeah.
sitting there naked with it, just sitting
I've had
there
that happen. Yeah.
watching the other person eat. That's one thing. But this guy still had 2 out of his 3 little mini fillets there. So
She seemed to enjoy it.
yeah, he enjoyed it a lot.
To expect always to have everything taken off the bill is a bit excessive, I would think.
Compensation.
Yeah.
I say call Morgan and Morgan for the
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
I mean, they're in a place already where they know it's going to be a pricey, joint. So you don't necessarily go there thinking, "Hey, I'll find something to get screwed up and demand a freebie." I mean, that's a scam. at that
Well,
point.
talking to some industry people, they say not to put, but Boca, I guess, is notorious for that, for people
Oh,
coming
yeah?
in and then complaining about something and
There's
wanting
a fly
a whole,
in my soup.
they want a whole free
Yeah.
meal out of it, not just the dish that was messed up, the whole check. They
That's an
want
Yeah,
unfortunate
no,
thing that
that's not-
restaurateurs like Reno have to deal with
Yeah.
at the Heritage. I don't know. I don't think he would have too much tolerance for that.
Oh,
For that maneuver.
Reno,
Yeah.
he would send them out and send them out on their rear ends and say, "We look forward to never serving you again."
Yes, he would have pictures of them posted with the National Restaurant Association.
Well, a place that and Defo always talks about this gentleman is the epitome of class, and as unwilling we are to dealing with those kind of people that have short tempers. Jack Studiali, the
There you
Studiali family of
Perfect
Tropical Acres, they actually deal with these people very well. They do really well with dealing with these people. We're actually impressed at how well they deal with customers who are unruly and impatient.
No, when something is wrong at Tropical Acres Steakhouse, and you know how much we love them and how much we thank them for their support of the Lunchbox
unending
show.
support.
I like
since
that
the
both
beginning.
your friends and your ex-wife were there on the same night, and you were nowhere to
my
be seen.
brother. My brother
Oh,
and
yeah.
sister-in-law celebrating her birthday, and my ex-wife were there same time, not in the same group. Actually, Michelle went in there
Just arbitrary
earlier.
coincidence.
She likes going in there on the early side. She hits the bar for the happy hour.
That's
the
a
half
great
price
happy
thing.
hour.
And then she'll
Man, that prime
go
rib.
and sit
Woo.
down and get that prime rib that she posted on her own
My
personal
God.
page. She's no longer on Let's Eat because I threw her. No, wait. I did not throw her out. I had to suspend her a couple of times
Why?
because of rules violations. She didn't like that. She just quit the group.
You
and off.
suspended your ex-wife from your
Absolutely.
Facebook page?
If you don't follow the rules, if you start cursing like a sailor, I gotta.
Oh, well.
Oh, yeah.
I got-
With swear words, I could see that.
Yeah.
You have the Sun Sentinel's
You
reputation.
guys are really good about
It was,
not
steak.
having
it
that,
was
yeah.
her choice, but she posted on her personal page this prime rib the other night that she had,
Oh,
Looks
wow.
fantastic.
and it looks so good. And yeah, some people saying, "Oh, it's still mooing."
It looked
Yeah,
like a touched-up
Yes,
picture you would see in
thank
an ad.
God.
prime rib is supposed to have beautiful, rare, bloody,
That's
something
prime rib.
juicy.
Like that's how you eat prime rib.
That is one of their house specialties
Fantastic.
at Tropical Acres, along with the filet mignon, which is what my brother got, and the twin lobster special.
now they still
Only
have
a couple more weeks. I think it's the last 2 weeks now. So if you want those
Oh,
$39
oh, shoot.
twin lobsters from Maine, £1.25 each with the salad and side dish, go in there and get it now. Tropical Acres, don't forget they are open Thanksgiving Day from 1 to 8 p.m. You want to give them a call now.
That'd be a great
to
spot.
If you want to save the aggravation, the hassle of the cooking, the cleanup, and dealing with maybe relatives in your home that you don't want in your home, just go out, have a nice meal at Tropical Acres, and then you could just cut out anytime when the bill comes.
Tell them the Lunchbox section.
Yeah, 1 to 8 p.m. Give them a call, 954-989-2500, 954-989-2500 to get on the books for Thanksgiving Day. Tropical Acres, they also have a butcher shop. You want to run in and get some great pieces of meat to throw on the grill at home. That's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Oh, every day but Sunday. Same thing with the dining room. They are closed on Sundays. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
You know what? After having just a half of one of those lobster roll sandwiches, I feel like I had the twin lobster special
Yeah.
at Tropical Acres. Great job here by Brian and all of the folks. We get cheesesteaks. Come on by. Tremendous specials once again today for the Thursday night football game or whatever you're doing. I mean, if you're having a party, going to be some cooler weather outside. You might want to invite a few people over and shoot the breeze for a while before we get ready for the holidays. Great spot here
Man,
Wicked
holidays.
cheesesteaks.
We're forgetting tomorrow, Gulfstream Park, day one of Breeders' Cup.
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Yeah,
23.
yeah.
Tomorrow is Juvenile Day. There's 5 races,
You
Breeders'
should
Cup
fit right
races.
in along with me.
The Juvenile.
5 races for the 2-year-olds out at Santa Anita, which of course is Gulfstream's sister property, and our man Joe Bajan
Yeah, he's out there.
is out helping out with the Breeders' Cup
Santa Anita.
festivities.
Yes.
Santa Anita, which Frank Miramati, your
My
friend.
man Frank Miramati on the
Coleman.
microphone.
He
Although
is-
I think on TV they use Larry Coleman.
Larry Coleman, also our friend, who
Yeah.
is often at Gulfstream during the wintertime. I'm going to try to get him on the show one time.
Yeah,
He's
good
always
guy,
on
yeah.
TVG or FanDuel Network now, or whatever they call it now, FanDuel. But we'll be at 10 Palms tomorrow. There'll be live racing there, along with Breeders' Cup racing Friday and Saturday. Oh, it's going to be a good contest this week. We
Yeah.
got to figure out
Winner of
how
like,
many tiebreakers we're going to have.
the Filly and Mare steeplechase
no.
mile.
It's going to be a race at Gulfstream on Saturday. The feature race, I think it's something like Don't Be Late Stakes, which is perfect for
There you go.
me and you. And then we're going to have the tiebreaker be the Breeders' Cup Classic. It's going to be a field of 12
right.
field. So I don't think we're going to do the football tiebreaker. We're going to use
See
the
what happens.
Breeders' Cup Classic.
You might want to cover all your bases because you're lazy. You just don't want to fill out too many names.
So
at the
maybe
end of
we'll
the
do all
contest.
3 again. But that
No, we
gets
don't
a
need all
little
3.
much. It's
No,
a
we're
little
good.
much. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow at Gulfstream. Until then, enjoy every
Every lobster
sandwich and lobster roll.